Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson. Today I'm bringing you guys a new video. This time it is going to be some more Fortnite, and this time it's actually going to be a different video that I've never really made before. As for at least Fortnite, maybe I have in the past with Call of Duty, but for Fortnite I've never really made a video like this. So today's video is actually going to be a couple of tips that you can improve on for the new season, obviously being Season 3 within Fortnite Battle Royale, especially since with the new season a lot of you guys are probably new to Fortnite, although obviously this game has had a lot of players playing it since Battle Royale came out, and especially since it's gotten really popular in the past couple of months. But I'm sure a lot of you guys are still new ever since the new season, so it's going to be basically a tip video, and this isn't really something that I've made before, but I definitely put a lot of time and effort in this video, so I really hope you guys do enjoy it. And if you guys do, definitely be sure to leave a like at the end of the video, and also subscribe if you guys are new. I'm definitely going to be posting more videos like this in the future, along with, you know, just gameplays and live streams and things of the sort. So as I said, today's video is going to be certain tips that you can improve on in Fortnite Battle Royale Season 3, basically from a start of the match to sort of the finish, or at least I'm going to cover for you guys what I actually do within certain matches to win games. So the first thing is going to be your landing. Now, you don't always have to land at very popular locations, especially whether it be, say, Tilted Towers or Retail Row, or really wherever the bus is going over, especially with the new location being Lucky Landing. A lot of people probably just go there and they die. Same with Tilted Towers, it's been like that for a while, so don't be pressured into obviously landing at the same single spot every single time. Although I definitely do enjoy going Tilted Towers and obviously Retail Row and other really popular locations because it's fun and it can definitely warm you up, but I feel like at a certain point it gets to be sort of oversaturated, so usually I'll land tilted here and there, but I like to switch it up. Sometimes I'd like to go maybe Anarchy Acres or Shifty Shafts or really wherever it is, so don't be afraid to land at different locations, because just because you're not getting a lot of kills in the beginning of games doesn't mean you still can't end up with a decent amount, maybe even double digits for that matter, and you can still win games just as easily, probably even easier, because you don't have such a high risk of dying at, say, a location like Tilted Towers or something like that. So once you've actually landed at your location, there's one thing that I'm usually always looking for in the beginning of a match that I would always like over anything else other than maybe, say, a gold scar, and that is usually a shotgun, just because of the fact that pretty much every fight that you get into in the beginning of a game, as soon as you land, is going to be a close quarters engagement. You don't really get into very long range fights unless, say, you're at a building and you see someone else at another building and they're trying to break into the roof. Maybe you pick up an assault rifle and you shoot them and you knock them, but usually I'm always looking for a shotgun because people are looking to loot chests indoors, whether it be at Tilted Towers or Retail Row or whatever it is. I usually always want a shotgun off the bat, and then usually I prefer an assault rifle as well, but you don't always need one. I would just prefer something that obviously is decent at medium to long range, whether that be a white pistol or really just a pistol in general. The white pistol is actually very underrated, so don't be afraid to pick it up in the beginning of games, or maybe even a silent submachine gun or just a submachine gun in general, and that's usually what I'm always looking for as for weapons. And then obviously I'm looking for shields and minis and basically anything that will give me extra health, because in the beginning of games that extra health means a lot. If you're just stuck there with 100 health, you can obviously survive, but if you see minis or say you see a shield or something like that, usually always want to go for it right away. That's what I do, and it definitely helps me out in the beginning of games and ends up getting me a lot of victories. So definitely use those tips to your advantage. Always look for shotguns, maybe even pistols or assault rifles, maybe a little bit of a mix of both. And don't be afraid to land on the same roof as someone else either, because if you steal the weapon quickly, then that's just one extra kill at the end of the game that has been added to you if you manage to win the game. So definitely use those tips to your advantage, like I said. So my next tip is going to be your loadout. And this all depends really for me on the pace of the game and the flow of the game. So often I'll maybe choose a SCAR, or maybe I'll choose a green pump shotgun, or I should just say a pump shotgun in general over a tactical shotgun. Sometimes I'll take an RPG over a grenade launcher. Sometimes I'll take certain weapons over other weapons, depending all on the flow of the match. You don't always have to go with the exact same weapons that you see on the ground every single game. So obviously the golden SCAR, say for example, is the best assault rifle in the game, the gold bolt is the best sniper in the game, and so on and so forth. Obviously you guys understand that, but you don't need to always pick those same weapons up over and over again. Say for example, obviously the purple tactical shotgun is a very good shotgun, but I don't always use the tactical shotguns. Sometimes I'll choose a pump over tactical just because I managed to do really well with it in the beginning of the game, and then I'm already sort of feeling that flow with the pump shotgun, so I usually like to stick with it, whereas sometimes I usually pick up a tactical and I'd rather stick with a tactical, even though, for example, the tactical shotgun, or I should say the green green pump shotgun is what I meant to say there, is statistically the best weapon in the game, but obviously the tactical shotguns offer you a little bit of a different advantage, whereas you can shoot faster but you have less range, whereas with the pump shotguns you have more damage, more range, but you can't shoot anywhere near as fast, especially with the new nerf that came to the game, which is basically attempting to eliminate, or really pretty much has eliminated, the double pump. So don't be afraid to use those certain weapons. And obviously there's other really underrated weapons in the game, such as the blue assault rifles. A lot of people assume that you need a scar to win the game. Some people will get intimidated if other people have scars against you, which is sort of weird because I've never really been intimidated over someone else having a scar when I don't have one. For example, the blue burst assault rifle is actually easily one of the most underrated weapons in the game, and at times can actually be better than a purple scar. I'll actually show you guys a clip here of me using a blue M16 assault rifle and eliminating people with ease. I think I actually get quite a few kills in this clip, and you guys can just see that I don't need a scar in order to win the game, although definitely sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'll pick it up. As I said, it all really just depends on the flow of the game as for my weapon loadout and setup. Obviously, there's a certain setup that I usually want, and that setup is going to always be an assault rifle, a shotgun, a sniper, some type of explosives, whether it be a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, and then some type of healing, whether it be minis, shields, medkits, bandages, whatever it is, something like that. But definitely don't be afraid to use certain weapons over others. Obviously, there's certain colors that are better than others, but that doesn't mean that the purple tactical shotgun is any better than the green pump shotgun. Statistically, the green pump shotgun is actually the best shotgun in the game, so don't assume that just because there's a purple shotgun it means it's better than the green pump. Once again, like I said, it really all depends on flow. If I'm really feeling the tactical shotguns, I'm going to go with that. If I'm really feeling pump shotgun, I'm going to stick with that. Same with maybe a blue burst. If I see a blue burst and I am doing really well with it and I pick it up and I'm really killing a lot of people with it, I may not pick up a purple scar over the blue burst. Whereas with the gold scar, there is definitely an exception there. Like I said, the gold scar is definitely the best weapon in the game. Same with the RPGs and the grenade launchers. If I'm really feeling the grenade launcher, I'll stick with that, or maybe I'll stick with an RPG. Also, there's certain weapons that you definitely don't want to be afraid of using, such as certain snipers are really good in the game, especially the bolts. The bolt action sniper rifles are definitely the best, and don't be afraid to use them because they can actually help you out a lot in certain situations. I'll show some clips here on screen. And then there's also other weapons in the game that probably a lot of people don't know about or realize how good they are, such as the tactical SMGs. The tactical SMGs had actually recently gotten a buff, maybe around a couple of weeks ago, and they're actually very underrated weapons now, so definitely don't be afraid to venture out of your comfort zone to use different weapons that can definitely give you an advantage overall and help you win more games. So the next tip that I have for you guys is going to be your materials, and this sort of is something that I do often in the beginning of games. Is I often farm trees for wood, because wood is very, very important in Fortnite, and it's something that I often will see that a lot of bad players, or maybe just players in general, don't usually have until the late game, where obviously they've looted so many players to the point where they have so much material such as wood and steel and stone, or I should say wood, stone, and metal. But you definitely want to loot, or farm, I should say, farm trees and pallets in the beginning of games, especially pallets. If you guys ever see wooden pallets and you are in need of some sort of material such as wood, definitely farm those. You can get a ton of wood from that, and it'll definitely help you out, because wood, in my opinion, well, more so it's factual, is actually the best material in the game if you're actually using a sort of rushing playstyle to your advantage, because of the fact that wood actually takes a hit better than stone and metal will, because of the fact that it builds so much faster. So say if you're trying to be really aggressive, you want to use wood as much as you possibly can over brick and steel, because of the fact that brick and steel, it takes longer to build and it can actually be broken so much faster. That's why usually when you see better players rushing, they're using wood all the time. Whereas obviously if you're trying to camp into a base and it's say endgame or whatever it may be, or you're just trying to heal up, then yes, I would definitely recommend using the brick and the steel. But if you're rushing and you're being aggressive, then always use the wood, because it can actually build faster and it can actually take a couple of hits before it actually ends up breaking. So definitely use that to your advantage as well. There are always trees all around the map, especially if you're in an open field, maybe near say Anarchy, or really wherever. Sometimes maybe if you land in the factories over in between Salty Springs and Retail Row, there are quite a few trees over there. Definitely the big trees are what you want to hit, and the willow trees, those are always the best ones, whereas the smaller trees won't really offer you very much, and always often hit those blue targets when you're farming trees as well. That's one really good tip that I can give you guys as well when you're farming for wood. And overall, just always be aware of the fact that you may be low on material and maybe you need to give some to your teammate if you have a lot or whatever it may be, and always just try to have that wood on you, because it can definitely help you out in the long run. So the next one is going to be to use your traps to your advantage, whether it be the actual traps, the spike traps, or whether it be the campfires or the launch pads, because those can actually help you out a lot. I'll show you guys a clip here on screen of me using a trap and getting a pretty funny kill with it, and oftentimes bad players, or maybe even just good players, sometimes I myself have even gotten caught off guard where I go into a building, say maybe in Tilted Towers, especially in there where, you know, traps are more likely to be, and it's harder to check every single ceiling. I'll often just not check those ceilings, and then I take damage to a trap, or maybe I even go down. So definitely place those, and place them in high traffic areas. Don't just place them in a random spot, especially maybe even if someone is chasing you. That's a good way to use it as well. If someone is chasing you into a house or a room or whatever it may be, you can place a trap on the floor or on the ceiling. Usually on the ceiling is better because of the fact that players don't check ceilings as much, especially, like I said, bad players, so you can actually rack up quite a few kills with those, especially if you place them in very popular areas where players usually move towards to. So definitely use those to your advantage, along with the launch pads. The launch pads can give you a whole lot. It can put you in a power position, it can put you behind an enemy, it can even take you out of a really difficult situation, and overall the launch pads are really great. When I see one, I get very excited because they can help you out so much, and you don't always have to save them until the end game. You can use them in certain situations when they're needed, of course, and you can also use them to get yourself out of the storm safe. The next circle is really far away. That's where I would also use the launch pads, especially if you have multiple launch pads. Definitely use them to your advantage. And then of course there's the campfire, which in combination with bandages can get you right back up to 100 health, obviously eliminating the need to use medkits. Say if you have medkits, you can just place down your campfire, use your bandages, and everyone can heal up regardless if you guys have medkits or not. So that's why I like the campfire as well. So definitely be sure to use those traps to your advantage. Now simply the last one that I have for you guys is to just do those weekly challenges. A lot of those guys out there, or a lot of you guys out there is what I should say, maybe sometimes just forget to do them or just choose not to, but it can actually help you boost up your battle pass XP, and overall, who doesn't like leveling up in the game? I think that's the whole point, because you can earn such cool skins and so many cool emotes and dances and cosmetics and things of the sort. I think that's sort of the whole point of Fortnite. So definitely don't be afraid to do those weekly challenges, even if the game tells you that they're hard. Most of the time in reality they're actually not. They're actually quite easy, most of them are, and so definitely don't be afraid to knock those out, because you can obviously get yourself, you know, some cool emotes, and it's just a lot of fun to like rank up and, you know, do those challenges. So definitely don't be afraid to do those. And overall, that's basically it for the video today, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, this was sort of a different video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do plan on making more videos such as this, where I give off tips and things of the sort. Not all the time, because I don't want people to know me as some sort of content creator who only gives off tips, because also I want people to figure out the game for themselves as well. But I think I have some decent advice that I can definitely give you guys. Obviously, like I said, I'm not going to give literally every single thing away, but at the end of the day, I don't really think it matters. I'm just here obviously to attempt to entertain. So once I said, as I said again in the beginning of the video, if you guys are new, definitely don't be afraid to subscribe, because I definitely will be posting more of these videos, along with live streams and just overall live gameplay commentaries and things of the sort. So that's basically going to do it. I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of the gameplay in the background. This is just a nice little duo win. I'm not sure how much is left, but I'll leave you guys with the rest of it. And overall, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, definitely be sure to leave a like, and I am out. Peace.